So I've got the spring parts cut off. I've ordered new ones and they should be arriving soon. They're sitting here. Now you want to know why, and I'll show you why. Can you see that right there? This is like almost a quarter, and that is down to about, I don't know, it's a little bit thicker than an eighth, but I wouldn't say it's 3/16, right? Or maybe this is all 3/16 and that's just an eighth. But this was welded on the trailer wrong. This is supposed to be welded on. It was welded on like this, or actually like this, like that. And it's supposed to be welded on the trailer like that. Okay, so I'm sitting here reading how to build a trailer online, and I found this wonderful thing, mechanical elements.com, and they've given me a bunch of suggestions. And what they led to was they said absolutely do not weld across the trailer frame member side to side. You can weld down it, the length of it, all you want. Do not weld across it, because that gives it the heat affected zone of a weld creates a weakened spot, believe it or not, around the weld. Not the weld itself, but the metal around the weld has a weakened effect to it. And that's how they built this entire trailer. They welded all four sides of everything they could on the cross members, on the spring perch, on the slipper spring perch, all of it. And yeah, they welded across the trailer the whole way. Now, what has happened, and my current problem is, where I've cut some of this stuff off, I've left a groove. Can you see the little groove? I don't know if you can see it well. There is a slight groove right here in the metal. There you go. Slight groove right there in the metal. And I'd like to build my metal back up. Now, also, the saw cut a little bit of the thickness of the metal off, and this is only 1/8 inch steel. And so I was thinking about welding it to build it back up. So, if I do all that, I can do that. And see, the trailer, here's where the original cross member was. It went from here to here. This is where the bin was. On one side, on this side, the bin was right here behind the weld. And on the other side, it bent right here in front of the weld. Well, actually on this side, that's where it bent. It bent right here in front of the weld. And on that side, it bent behind the weld. And trying to take care of that. So what they said is to take a piece of metal, the same thickness as the perch that I'm buying, the hangers, and weld it at least 6 inches past the perch on either side of it, and the same width, and then stitch weld it down the length all the way around. And so, seeing as how they've already done the damage of welding across the trailer frame, I am going to put things back the best I can once I square it. And hopefully with the addition of that piece of metal here, it won't bend here again. That's all I can say, but it looks like it's going to affect 1, 2, and then this one will come. See, here's the edge of the perch, and I'm going to bring that one to right in here somewhere, and I'll probably just bring it to right here. But the one back here is going to have to go behind this, because the 6 inches lands dead in the center of it. So I was going to take one of them pieces of tubing, and unfortunately that's the only one I got that's 3/16. Only metal I got that's 3/16, and cut one for each side to go on here. And I should have like a 1/2 inch by 1.5 inch piece of C-channel, I guess, is really what it would end up being, even though it's still box tube. And I'll figure out somewhere to use that somewhere else. But anyhow, that's what I'm thinking. But what I got to do right now is I got to get in here and clean up all this stuff. Even though I just cut this off yesterday, look at the rust on it. It rained overnight, and look at the flash rust. Can you see that? Look, just yesterday, flash rust, flash rust. Over here, zoom in, flash rust. Flash rust. Flash. Whoops. Flash rust. Yeah. You see some of them, you can see that groove pretty pronounced. And I was having a devil of a time getting some of these welds to come off. Some of the other ones just pop right off. Like this one, I didn't even know. Hold on, let me zoom back out. See that? Now, this has a ton of pressure in it from the other side. So that means I got a twist in the frame over there. And yeah, I'm gonna have to fix that. Well, whatever. That's my thought for this morning. They've already done the damage that's gonna be done. I'm gonna take and fill those things back in and then grind them smooth. I'm gonna grind them flat first. Then I'm gonna see how bad the grooves are and fix them, because they've already done all the damage that's going to be done because of welding across the frame. But I am going to do that welding reinforcement piece from probably right here to right here, and I think that's about 40 inches or something like that. They said to go 5 to 6 inches past the length of the spring keeper on each side, so I'm hoping that that's what I'll do, and that'll reinforce this so it won't bend right here again. So that's my thoughts. All right, so I got to get the grinder out, and it may or may not rain. It's supposed to rain all day. That's a blue sky. And all of a sudden, my all-day rain has become a blue sky. So I don't know what to trust the weatherman about. But I'm going to grind as much as I can. So I don't really know how much I'm going to film this, and or the welding. So thank you for joining me for my thoughts on the build. All right, so I was trying to weld up my cuts in the frame. Let's see. And apparently I got a little overzealous right there where the jack is. And the frame shrunk on this side and put a kink in it this way. And let me see if I stand back here. Let me pull some of this stuff off. There you go. There you go. Oops. You don't get to see me move all this stuff. Alright, so if you look down the line, and you see the bend in the frame right there around the jack. Right there on both sides of it. Let's see, focus back in, camera. Come on now. Alright, you don't want to focus that far away. So, I was trying to establish a straight line again. And I thought I would include y'all for the, what I'm hoping will be the final push on that. Now, it looks like I needed to move the jack a little bit this way. So do the jacking this time. I did one push on it. And as you see, you can watch the frame sit there and bow. And the deflection rate is absolutely insane how much that thing is deflecting. You see it? It's actually curving up, and you can see that curve into it right there. Now, I wish I had an anvil that would fit in here, because I could take it while it's under tension right there, put a couple pops in it, and it'll help the metal stretch a little. I don't know if it will work. Who knows? Alright. So did that make it straight? Alright, let's pull this out. Let's pull this out. See if I got it any better. Because it was a very bad, obvious kink on it. And, you know, looking down the line of it now, it don't look bad at all. It was bad. No, it don't look bad at all. Let's see. I got a straight edge right here on this piece of plywood. I can throw this up in here. And, alright, so I got an 8 gap here, and an 8 gap there, and it's almost touching right here. Right here. So, I guess I need to make a mark, huh? Alright. That'll be where I have to reestablish the press at. Now, as you can see, this is quite the amalgamation of wood and lumber and steel sitting here, so we can do that. And I'm not trying to take a header over this for no reason. But I think if you just put just a little bit of tweak in right here. Ah, there you go. Oh, hit my fingers. Actually, on the inside, it's still showing a bow right here. Right where that last weld is. So, since it's saying, on the outside it's saying it's bowed here, inside it's saying bowed here. I'm going to set my backer plate centered between the two. I'm going to give it one more shot at it. This is a whole lot easier than trying to set the whole thing up. Alright. When you do that, make sure you tighten the valve back up on the pump. Otherwise it won't do nothing. Alright. Now I can see this moving up a little. I'm going to come right in here. Like I said, it was bowed up, or where it was twisted up. It ain't got to be hard. It has to be hard enough. I don't know how well that's going to work. God only knows, I might have destroyed this frame. One more pump? Okay. Now you see the bow is like that. Let's see if I overdid it or underdid it. Alright. Half of my job, been trying to, half of the time I spent doing this. Alright, we're tight. Yeah, you and me, we're tight. Because you're me. Alright, our straight edge. Alright. And with that, I guarantee you, you can't buy a piece of angle iron that straight. There you go. You want to see that up close? I don't know if I can hold the camera in there and do it. You can't buy them that straight. Now if you look out there on the tail end pulled out a little. And let's see, right here. Now, what I noticed, how I noticed it was I looked down yesterday at this one. And this one, I had managed to cut free, see? And it was way over here. And I took every precaution I possibly could to go as slowly as possible to put this thing back together. And, well, you know, things still warp when you heat them up and metal shrinks. That's what happens. All right, we zoomed all the way out. All right, so we're here. See the line? See the line? All right, well, that's just great. All right. So, I mean, that's within a 1/16, I would guess. Less than a 1/16 right here. And that right there is where I was fixing it. And I was trying to build the metal back up because I got away the edge. And I think that's what did it. And here's where I cut the spring shackle off. And there was just a big groove from where I went underneath of it. And so I think that's the best we got. So, seeing as how I now seem to have warped that out, I'm probably going to have an issue when I go to tweak this side to that side. Alright, when I touch that side to that side, this side over here is going to be out like that a little bit because of where I had to pull from. I was trying to pull right next to it, but oh yeah, okay, I was pulling right next to it. Alright, so anyhow, we're all good. Let me check the end measurement side to side here. Now, I can't hold the camera. I need a cameraman or a woman. Actually, I'd prefer a company of a woman who doesn't. And this should be 60.5. And right there is showing 60.25, give or take. On this side is 60 3/8. And all of those, all the cross members have measured exactly 60.5. But they're not measured. They're not it's an 1/8 inch over here, and a little bit less than an 1/8 here, a little less than an 1/8 there. So I think we're within tolerance on the whole width of this trailer. All right, so once again, now if you want to see my stack up, you remember I got these 3 boards, these 2 beams on here with 3 points of contact creates a plane in any direction. That doesn't mean that plane is flat or level, but it does mean between those 3 points is a plane. It extends out in forever in all directions. And that's what you're trying to achieve with the trailer, is a flat plane. And that's what you want. That's a flat plane. Okay, so I got two 4x4s stacked on top of it with a piece of 3/4 and a piece of 1/2 inch plywood, and then a piece of 3/8 inch steel. Somewhere 3/8 inch steel is on the inner beam I was using to pull, and then, you know, I stood the other 3x3 tube, 3x1.5 inch tubing. That's 3x1.5 inch tubing to get my center line, and then I used that piece of 3/8 angle, 4x4 I think, and it might be 5x5, to give me my blocking up off of the, because there's a 6x6 post laying in there and it just barely fits inside of it, and I had to shim it up inside because I stuck it on there, and, you know, 1/8 and 2/8, and next thing you know, you've got a 1/2 inch, well, it was 7 inches and something to the center. So we got a 6x6 in there, and then the plywood and all that metal slides around on it instead of me having to balance it on top like we did when we pulled it from end to end up. So yeah, all that lays sideways real good, and there you go. That was that. That was straightening frame the other way. Now I would suggest, if you're going to do this, do it with all of the cross members in it welded to it and on it, because that was how it bent itself, with all of that stuff on it. And now I'm getting localized bending where I wanted the whole frame needs to move, but we'll get to that later. All right, so this has been your, I don't know what you would call this. This has been your moment with Paul. I hope y'all have a good day.